Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are around the world. I want to say thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you watch my video till the end and kindly subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified of my videos. Share my videos, and I pray and hope that you like them. And those of you who have not subscribed, do me a favor, please subscribe. Today we have a wonderful show that we're going to have, and I'm so thankful that we have the opportunity, right, of sitting and listening. We either on our cell phone, laptop, iPhone, whatever it is, iPad and whatnot. So I'm very grateful to you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about something that is very, very important. I remember many years ago when the late Samuel Kanyando was in power, and I stand to be corrected. When one of the guys who joined Samuel Doe to overthrow Tolbert, Thomas Kwiwangwa, came and brought an incursion in Liberia. Many of us know the story. We've heard the story. We were there when it happened. And because of Thomas Kwiwangwa, the late Samuel Doe, even though Thomas Kwiwangwa himself is late, decided to target those from Nima County. Because I remember it vividly, because my girlfriend, dad, used to work at the Freeport of Monrovia, and it happened because of, well, whether we call it ethnic cleansing or whatever it was. He was a foreman at the Freeport of Monrovia, and he was fired because for whatever reason, Kwiwangwa came in and tried to overthrow Doe, and he was caught and then killed, but then Doe decided to take it on the Nima people. So knowing what happened from that time, it was because I believe that was the grassroots. That was the root of all of the situation, the problem Liberia went through, the civil war, where 250,000 or more people were massacred. They were killed. Remember the Lutheran Church massacre and so many other massacres that went on in Liberia. They were killed. People were murdered. For innocent people for no reason of their or no problem of their own. And now we see again, 2023, we are reading the newspaper where it is said that Samuel Toy, the finance minister, is now pressurizing the Liberian Revenue Authority to fire all Liberians and Lothians from in their ranks because they did not vote, or they felt that they are voting mostly for the UP Joseph Boykai. And this is something that we gotta be very mindful of, because we remember, I always say that us Liberians, we're quick to forget. That was the root of the civil war in Liberia. When Samuel Doe began to get at the Nima people and fire them from their jobs. Because I remember my girlfriend then, now she's my wife, they suffered because her father didn't have a job. He had to reduce himself to selling some roller that you can put on your clothes when they're laying on your clothes. You use it to clean your clothes. He had reduced himself to that because he had no means of survival. And he had a wife and children, and he had to cater for them. And I believe there were so many Liberians that were Liberians who suffered that fate. We also see recently what happened to Councillor Kupokro. He was the Minister of Post and Telecommunication. And we also saw, because he was at a program that was not part of the CDC, it was recommended by Akara Gray, who I'm glad was defeated in the senatorial and the representative race that just took place. He recommended that he be fired, and George Weah fired him. Now we are reading in the Daily Observer that George Weah, because of his fear of losing the elections, and the Lofians and the Liberians supported Joseph Boakai, so now he decided to get rid of them. But I want to show you a little clip of the newspaper and what is stated, what it says, what was written, and then I will be right back. I'm not sure you were able to read because the illegibility might not be very legible for you to be able to read what the Daily Observer newspaper wrote. But this is something that is frightening. This is something that is scary. Because if you start to get at your own Liberians, the Lofians and the Liberians are Liberians. So why will you do that knowing these people have their families to support, their relatives that depend on them for their daily survival? And then because of greed, because you want to remain in power, so you decide to get rid of them from their daily bread, to take away their daily bread. That is unjust. That is not fair. That is not fair. Because these things have the propensity to cause chaos and division, and it can bring situation in our country that we all must detest because we know what we went through. We know what we went through for 14 years. People were being killed. And now it seems it's repeating its ugly self again. So I'm hoping and praying that if George Weah, the president of Liberia, or Samuel Towe, who is the finance minister, if they ever get to hear what I'm saying, please desist from these things, because this is completely wrong. It's tribalism, it's divisive, it is not correct, it is a form of corruption. You cannot cause people to suffer. Remember, if one person is working with the LRA, one person, that person have so many mouths to feed. So many. And if you fire that individual, you are turning his entire family against you. And is that politics? Is that how politics really work? By you firing people from their daily bread, taking the bread out of their family members' mouth, and you think that because of that they're going to vote for you? Is that fear tactics? What strategy is that? That you're trying to use and think that because of fear they're going to gravitate towards you. You are only pushing them away from you more. And we all know that if someone do something to us or did something to us that we feel that wasn't right, what happened? We leave. We put them at an arm's length. We don't want to be associated with them anymore because we feel that they are not being nice to us. They are being wicked to us. So let not wickedness take over our conscience. When we realize that the man's heart is wicked above all else, but we cannot suffer innocent people because of our self-centeredness, our greed, and we want it all for ourselves. No one is entitled to the presidency of Liberia. Whoever the Liberians vote for, that's the one that remains or gets in power. And let him or her prove themselves. And then after 6 years, we shall see again when we go back to the ballot box whether they will have the opportunity of leading Liberia. But going to the extent of firing people from their jobs, that is wrong. So let us try to use a different kind of strategy. For that strategy will not work. You cannot do it. So Mr. Towe, you are the finance minister. You are not there to fire people because you feel that they were not going to vote for George Weah so you can remain in your post. And I don't even think you need to or you have to remain in your post because you have not done very well. Actually, you are one of the worst ministers ever in Liberia, finance minister. So don't do that. That is wrong. So I want to tell you today, thank you all for watching my video. I really appreciate it. May God bless you. May God bless the people of Liberia. And may God bless the country of Liberia. Thanks for watching.